Speak. Okay, let me just put you back on my headset. Speak to me. So somebody say something.
Yeah.
Hello.
You hear me?
Oh, okay, I can hear you now. Good.
Okay. But I said hello to everybody, but probably my mic was muted when I said so. So hello again.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, Mike. Great to see you here.
Hey, everyone.
So Bosco, has someone volunteered to be the vice chair?
Nobody but you.
I thought that would be the situation, but yeah, all right. So give it, in which case, I'm going to say if no one objects, I'm not going to play this. No one objects, I will chair this meeting. Get rid of.
I have tried to collect. You know better than I do, of course. That's why you're an expert and I'm not. So I tried to collect the agenda items, but it's very limited. So I wouldn't know what would be additional points for discussion.
We can rattle through it. I mean, it's because things are progressing. I don't know this. You can rattle through it. Okay? Just
Hello all, now I can hear exactly.
Okay, do you want to begin with something? Do you want me to find action items from the last call? What do you want?
please, yes. Well, I think welcome everybody. I think it being nearly 4 minutes past, we'll get started. How many voting members do we have? So if we know we're quoted, please. Could you do that for us, Bosco, and then could you get the look over the last agenda for us?
Yes. So.
And then what I was going
Duncan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say 6. Yeah, 6.
We have 6. 6. So we are quoted.
Yes. Yes. As for the agenda, I just put a simple structure. So actions from the last meeting, which I can go through, and then we can see what else. Because some of the things that we are to discuss might stem from that.
Would you like to just paste that agenda into the chat now so that everyone
can see? Yes, no problem. It doesn't preserve line breaks. Just
that doesn't matter. I just need something to.
It's going to be hard to. Just give me a sec. It's going to be quick. Okay, and yes. Okay, okay, this is it. So actions from the last meeting, operational budget, perhaps, I don't know, as Kevin added some figures there. Constitution maybe affects something from the action items. Yeah,
so the way I'd like to play this is, does anyone else at this point have any other business they want to add to this agenda? If not, we will go with this agenda. Okay, right. Could we get the actions? Could you go through the actions of the last meeting, which we're not going to cover in those other things, please?
Yeah, sure. I was actually.
If you want to share something, that would be very possible.
Yeah. I will share the screen. It would be easier to follow. But if any of you wants to check it on their own screens, so just a second. Okay, these are the things from the last meeting. So SPO outreach, Alex, Ryan Williams, and Marcus to draft promote communications for different networks to encourage SPOs to vote on current governance sections, as it seems that there is a lower participation one.
Right. So any feedback on that? Please, well, first of all, let's say, so Alex, Ryan, and Marcus, any of you got something to say? I see Marcus has raised his hand. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, you're pretty fresh from today, as I had a conversation with some people here in the office. The plan, and this, sorry if I just announce it now, Ryan, it was not discussed with you again, because it is very, very fresh here. But for next week, we plan so-called SPO table talk. So around where we invite Pi as the original initiator and some other developers who have interest in this parameter change, and bring it as a topic where we discuss the, let's say, the content. And so we don't limit ourselves only on just please go and vote for whatever it is, but really talk about the topic itself. And we invite SPOs here, not developers, of course, also developers, but the target here is, and the reason why we do it is that the SPOs then hopefully vote on, or we raise the awareness for the proposal to be voted. On the scheduling, we don't have a fixed schedule. We currently try to align availability between Pi and others, but I already told them today, please schedule it as soon as possible in the next week, so we don't appear like very last minute, please, so embarrassing, please help us to bring it over the line thing. So that's the fresh update.
Okay, so in summary, what you're saying is the foundation is going to talk to, it's going to hold a, the foundation is going to hold an SPO roundtable in the short
branded. Term. It's not, so there is no foundation logo and organization. Of course, I do it, and also Matthias Bancourt will be there, but it's a community initiative. So with the community account, it is completely separated.
So so you are facilitating a community initiative. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's what I wanted. Is there any? Has anybody got? I mean, there was this issue of putting it out on X and Twitter. I don't know. Did that happen? Was a post
so on my channels that I have, so like the SPO newsletter, that was already sent out before or last week's meeting, so I had not to do it again so far.
No. I was asking you more generally because I was hoping that the Intersect something might have gone out via Intersect or the TSC channel. If you're telling us that hasn't happened, then I think we should place an action on ourselves to tell us, Marcus, tell us when this is happening, and we'll advertise it through the TSC channel. Number one, and secondly, that as a committee, we should get it pushed out now. Okay, to point out that SPOs need to vote.
But and here, sorry, I switch over now from the communication to a question to the TSC. When I look at the Gantt timeline, so the proposed or the aimed timeline on the left side, so right now we have this ongoing parameter proposal. Then in around April, or we immediately now start heading into preparations for the hard fork. So what if this parameter change now fails? Does it affect the hard fork because we don't want to create confusion and overlaps and so on, or is it like, okay, then it happens in parallel?
Okay, so this particular problem, there's a constitutional change going, the government actions, right? So they need to know to do that. That's the governance actions. The actual one that we have put in, I don't know if it's covered anywhere else. No, can we put on the agenda in a minute? After we finish these actions, let's put on a piece on the agenda that says a quick review of the parameter changes and their effects. Okay. Should we come to that? We'll come to that in a minute, Marcus. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Next thing, I have Kevin's been away this week. It was going to be me and him do it. We basically haven't reviewed we haven't had an opportunity to review the Constitution. Now carry that over to next time. Right. Unstructured goals for the 26th term. Are we carrying that? That's sort of part of the budget. that have the goals and objectives.
I think Kevin started some document and he shared it on Slack, but I don't know whether there was additional input from anybody there.
Okay, so let's just say, I'm trying to make sure we, let's put an action on ourselves to review that next time. Okay. Yeah. Is Ryan C? Yes.
Anything that is not covered here, we can pass on to the next week.
Exactly. But I mean, if we say an action is to review it in the next meeting, then it gets into the minutes and it becomes things, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So that's important. It's just right. Ryan, do you have anything to say about the slate pool math?
Yeah, I can post it here. I was trying to make a fancy graph, but it's not working right now, so I'll just post in the chat and talk about it. But basically, we're looking at how much stake would flow to pools in various categories by moving K from 500 to 1,000. So I use the same categories listed from the IOR Incentives Research Report. For situational awareness, the categories are, so there's inactive pools that have unmet pledge and another sign of neglect and no blocks. There's active and struggling pools, which have less than 3 million stake and less than 5,500 ADA and cumulative rewards. Active and viable, that has also less than 3 million ADA stake, more than 5,500 ADA rewards, and healthy pools. And so if we were to take all of the redistributed data, so there would be about 5 billion ADA stake oversaturated by moving K from 500 to 1,000. If you were to redistribute that evenly to all pools, including active and inactive, that would be about 1.866 million ADA that goes to all pools.
Okay.
And then carries on down. If you were to filter out just the less than 3 million, that's 2.43 to all of those. If you filter out to all active pools, including with more than 3 million, it's 3.374. And then if you look at just the smallest pools that are active, they would each get 6.239 million each. So I think most ways you cut it, there would be more than enough stake to go around to help many of these pools.
Could I just interject, Dick? Just quickly, have you left, Alexander? Alex, are you still there? No, he hasn't. Just left. Okay. I was going to say, I want to note the cards leaving. Just a comment here. Sorry, Ryan. Back to that point. So, what would be good if you could write a paragraph of that we could go into the minutes, so that we have some record of it, and actually put some numbers of how many pools are in those groups, so that somebody reading it from the minutes could see how much it affects. Right?
Gotcha.
How much
off the top of my head, from running the script a couple times, it was about 345 pools could be made viable. 345 active pools.
But I mean, from the point of view of reporting it, I don't want to go into. If we could do that, that would be good, because then that could go in the minutes. Nicholas.
Gotcha.
I know that IOE hasn't finished their work on the SPO incentive analysis yet. I don't know when it is planned to be done. I can ask the people in charge of it. So very likely Carlos Lopez de Lara, who's leading this work. It might, depending on the timeline for this work to be done, it might be a good idea to wait until this work is done before moving forward, because it might be quite an interesting insight to have the final report from IOE on this. Before we move with the governance action.
Okay.
Again, it highly depends on when it will be available, because if they say it's in 6 months from now.
Let's do it. So let's make a suggestion for the next meeting. If Ryan can produce the paragraph that sort of fulfills that statement of math, and we put an action on you to come back with when that report's going to happen, then we can turn around next time and say, use it or wait or not wait. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
at the
moment, that's why at the moment it's just a suggestion that it might be useful to know. I will ask for sure.
Please, because I think we're not going to make, because I'm trying to make informed decisions here, and also get on with things. Right. Thank you. So the CIP backlog. I mean,
I think Ryan progressed something on Slack. If you didn't get it.
You're muted, mate.
Yes, I can mention that one too. So there's some technical complications for that one. I don't know if you want to go into detail here or save it for the SIP editors, but I can kind of talk through where that one's at.
No, I think it's sufficient to say at this level that there's some technical complications are being found and are being discussed. Okay, because
Sounds good.
Good.
Yeah,
right.
Works for me.
You can tell me if I'm being too terse, by the way, guys.
No, you're good.
I like pushing things forward, right? Because time.
I dropped the link in the chat if anyone wants to read those technical things.
Thank you.
Enough.
So the next thing that was so I think we've done the previous meeting.
Yeah. We can go to the agenda. I can share that screen as well.
Right. So the operational budget, I believe that has been shared and numbers put into it by. So we've done actions at the last meeting. The operational budget updates that has been shared, and we're waiting feedback in the document. So I think that's been progressed, but hasn't been completed yet. Yes. Okay. And I encourage you to look at it. Just put 10 minutes in your diary and look at it, right? And if you agree with it, say something, right? Because that's the real problem. You can read these documents and you don't know if anybody disagrees, or if you disagree with it, say something too. Okay. Constitution 2.4.
Yeah, that was also part of the action items from the last call. So it was about. So I think you covered that one already from the action items of the next meeting or the previous meeting. Sorry.
All right. The Constitution 2.4 effects. I think we have to have our concern is about the security. We have to do the security assessment first, don't we? Yeah. So I don't think we can, unless anybody's got anything else to say. I haven't got anything. I mean, I can moan, but I don't think you want to listen to me moan.
Why not? You're doing it nice. Come on.
No, yeah, I know, but you don't want me to moan, right? I mean, I will just say, what a bunch of muppets, right? Is my reply here.
That's right. Also understands. Okay.
Well, I'm really doing this. As you say, quick review of parameter changes. Marcus,
that's what we added.
Yeah. So could we bring up? Somebody has got a marvelous. I don't know where the marvelous timeline of changes are, but I think, Marcus, we discussed this last time. If the parameter change doesn't go through, we literally have to rethink everything that we're doing, right? Because the idea was make one change now to the parameters from the discussion, and we have to leave 3 months between the change. We basically have to. We can't. This is a parameter that can't be changed by the full amount in one go, according to the current constitution or the constitution that when we put it together. You've done a small change. If that goes through, other changes will be built upon it. The later change will not occur until after the hard fork has occurred. Okay, but if it doesn't go through, this particular parameter change is that it doesn't hold up the hard fork. Other parameter changes will mean that there are other parameter changes related to the Plutus primitives, right? Mm-hmm. That are perhaps more important because if we get those in, we would like to get those in before the hard fork, so that the functionality is available when we add the hard fork. Does that solve your question, Marcus?
Yes. I just wanted to. So I already assumed that it is basically awareness or a topic here in the TSC, but just to, I mean, when we next week talk about in an SBO call, then we may also will mention such a timeline here and visualize it. Basically, a picture says more than 1,000 words.
Yeah, so there is a putative timeline which I don't believe we have any problem sharing. You can share it, right? It's not going. We know it's not going to be reality. Okay. Mm-hmm. However, if the constitutional problems, if everything overlaps badly, everything gets delayed. Okay, mm-hmm. That's the point, right? So if people fight over this is why we're trying to coordinate them. But the effect of non-coordination is people suffer. Okay, mm-hmm. Unnecessarily. Do we need to talk about the vice chair? Because I don't think, if no one's going to put their hand up. right? So I'm going to try and make this really good. Is there any other?
Can I ask you, Neil, would you consider being a vice chair?
I can't. I really can't,
Okay.
right? Because I have other commitments, including I can't commit to being available. I'm afraid that's the problem, right? And it's not just work; it's other things too. Okay, so various things around that. Right? Any other business, folks? Is there anything? I mean, okay. That being said, does anybody want to say anything? If not, we'll close the meeting.
Yeah, I want to say something. You guys don't talk about maple syrup very often here. So yeah, just a constructive comment.
So your concern is our lack of due deference towards the maple syrup production community?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we apologize to the maple syrup production community, and as I actually know people who do it for real, do actually get their living from it, I'm hoping that their season will be a good one. Okay. Any other business, folks? Uday.
Yeah, hello. I take this opportunity to talk a little bit about myself. So I'm here to help on different functionals. I'm very new, so I must admit that in TSC objectives, I'm still learning, and I'm not able to contribute much. About vice chair, I taken the role in OSC already, so I think now it's going to be too much. I already part of 2 committees. OSC was a little easier for me there because I've been part of that in different capacity earlier. But I want to contribute more with the TSC, and I'm trying to figure out what and how. So if any guidance, any suggestion, any starting point, if you can suggest.
Could I ask what you think your strengths are?
Yeah, so I'm coming to that as well. Yeah, so I'm myself primarily the technology person, right? So computer science, and been 25 years on Web 2.0, and last 4 or 5 years been on the Cardano. I'm not very hands-on. I must say in last at least 5-10 years, kind of not much hands-on. So mostly on architectural aspect, information security, etc. But I do have the team of the Cardano developers, very good developers. Some of them I trained, and now the team they're very good hands-on executing projects. So I'm very much keen to dedicate some of the people to work on the objective from my team as well, and no cost. I know we have the budget issues and other things, so I just for the benefit of the larger cause, I'm quite keen that some of the developers I work with, they can participate as well.
That's very generous. Can I suggest that if you have people who want to get in, that one of the ways that they could work with this is to come along to some of these things like the parameters committee or the networking committee, where they would get more technical insight, i.e. is a quid pro quo. What is the sort of thing you're developing?
Yeah, so we develop a different type of DApps and also smart contracts we've been working on. So we have worked on quite a few smart contracts. We've been participant on one of the security Oracle as well, but mostly the transactional, the smart contracts, and the various DApps basically all are on Cardano.
If you have people who are interested in the economics of how the chain works, right? The operational performance of it, please come along to the parameter committee stuff, because I know that they're weak. We're weak in people who will puts their head around the operational economics of this system, right? Because that would be a really good way in which people could contribute.
Yeah, no, thank you for the suggestion. I'm just thinking that does that require the more, the experienced people in tech, or
it requires people who are keen to learn, because actually there'll be people there. A lot of this is there are people around who have some of the expertise and the history, but they guess what? They're busy.
Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, so right now looks like to me then parameter committee is it, right? It is the parameter committee. So
I start there, and then basically things like the network parameter. The parameters committee splits up into other bits when it needs to do work, and that's the place where constrained pieces of technical work, of thinking processes, where effort is needed. If you at a I was going to say a low level, but that's almost an insult. What I'm trying to say, at a functional, a behavioral level, as opposed to, policy setting type level. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So I will be more than keen, to work on these objectives and also involve my team. So that's my offer. And my apologies, I have not been much contributing. I'm listening to calls, and I'm trying to understand what's going on here. But soon I hope to start contributing more.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else, folks? In which case, as they say, I'll give you half an hour of your life back.
And you were so good as a chair. Really.
I have 30 years experience, and that's all right. Okay, cheers then, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.